Coming up on today's episode of DLLS Mavs, the Mavericks have a new television deal, and how much pressure are Luka and Kyrie to deliver an NBA title to your Dallas Mavericks? All that and more on today's episode of DLLS Mavs. Here we go. Hey, what's up, DLLS Mavs Nation? It's your man, Kevin Gray, alongside Mavericks insider Tim Cato, Mavericks analyst Bobby Carella. We are DLLS Mavs. You can find us on X at Kevin Gray Sports, at Tim_Cato, at Bobby Carella for all things DLLS Mavs. Your favorite guys covering your favorite team every single day. So much to get to on today's episode, including the Mavericks with a brand new television deal and how much pressure are Luka and Kyrie to win a championship for your Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie Irving having some things to say on his Twitch channel about the disappointment in the Mavericks losing to the Celtics in the NBA Finals. But before we get there, what's up, guys? Happy Friday to you.
Kevin, what did you do to Mark Stein?
He's not here.
Where is he?
I don't know. Maybe he's into the shadow realm somewhere. I don't know.
I actually don't. Where is he? Where is he?
Where is he?
He's globetrotting again?
Is that not till next week?
That's next week.
Okay.
That's next week.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be all around the world to be the worldwide leader in getting scoops for our show.
Be careful with using that
I
phrase.
know. I said
Wait
it.
a
I'm like,
minute.
that's the wrong.
No,
that's
wrong
the wrong
network.
one.
Wrong network.
Yeah,
We're all city around here, baby.
I am very, very happy today. It's a happy MJ Linderman Day to all who observe. Great musician just released an album I cannot wait to listen to. I'm in such a good mood on this sunny, beautiful day that whenever Tim Cato snapped at me to let me know that the camera was about to turn on,
Not snapped at you.
it didn't even bother me that much.
I just wanted to make sure you were alert and alive.
I appreciate it.
And paying
I
attention.
was looking out for you.
I appreciate it.
It was
That's
a
a good
kind
teammate. Way to be a
snap.
good teammate.
Yeah,
Way to be a
no,
teammate.
It's good. It was good.
Yeah.
Because MJ Linderman dropped an album today.
Shout out to everybody in the
I don't
chat
even know who that
today
is.
here on DLLS Mavs. The best way you can help
would
us
like
grow is to like, comment, and subscribe to DLLS Sports on YouTube. Become a diehard member as well. Throw your questions and comments in the chat as well. We already see Ronald in there. What's up, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the chat today. A lot to get to. A lot of news for your Mavericks on this Friday, including the fact that the Mavericks, gentlemen, have a brand new television deal with WFAA and their parent company, Tegna. As fact, that came out not just a couple of hours ago. Under the new deal, all non-nationally televised Mavericks games, 70 or more this upcoming season, will be broadcast for free, boys and girls, over the air, either on WFAA Channel 8 or the Tegna-owned KMPX Channel 29 this upcoming season. So for all those non-nationally televised games, whether it be on TNT, ESPN, wherever the case may be, those games are going to be free for everyone to watch, Bobby.
Yeah, I think it is a very good day to be a Mavs fan, especially if you live in Dallas-Fort Worth or around the Metroplex. Personally, I believe, and this is coming from someone that worked for the team for more than a decade, it should be every sports team's moral and ethical obligation to broadcast their games for free to their fans. You want to ensure that as many people can see your games as possible, partly because it's just good for business, but then also because, like in the Mavs' case, people that live in the city of Dallas pay for their stadium. So, like, we should be able to get to watch the games. We just should, and I know over the last couple of years, Bally, obviously, the Bally crew did an amazing job broadcasting the games, and I would die for Mark Followell, but a lot of Mavs fans were so frustrated with the lack of availability of that channel, and that's people that live in the city, people that live within walking distance of the arena, or people that live anywhere in this great burg of ours. So I think it is the objectively correct thing to do. There are a lot of technological kinks and sort of practical kinks to work out, Tim, that you're going to get into, but it's just good overall. It's a really, really good first step, and I'm intrigued to see how it works.
Real quick, a statement from Patrick Dumont, the governor of the Mavericks. Quote, "We are looking forward to giving Dallas Mavericks fans every opportunity possible to watch our exciting team build on the momentum of its incredible run to the NBA Finals last season," end quote. So that coming from the governor of the Dallas Mavericks. There.
I've always liked WFAA.
That's right.
However
You do?
they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a huge
No,
Tegna fan.
Here's where I was going with
Tegna.
this. Here's the thing. I don't know why they use vowels.
Mm.
It just that's my one issue.
Should
with
just
them.
be
And so
WF.
It should just be
There you go.
WF.
Drop
yeah.
the
Drop the
A's.
A's, drop
It's
the
clean.
double A.
What? Yeah, exactly.
So the American Airlines said just be C, just the center.
Just
CC.
C.
Yeah.
Yeah, just CC.
Got it.
So I have
Got
a couple questions about, and it looks like these are questions that everybody is aware of, that it's stuff that might get figured out. But for example, I use YouTube TV. And right now, this channel that the Mavericks are going to be broadcast on is not a channel that I can access through that package. Yes, I could go get an antenna. The antenna is, first off, it's a hassle that is going to be as good as that is, as helpful as that is, as morally right as it is that people can just go access this channel very easily. It doesn't have the same functionality, to your point, Bobby. It doesn't have the built-in DVR functionality. It's just not as easy. And the more that it does seem like this channel may get integrated to some extent, and that's something that I'm looking for. Also, tell me if you read this differently, but they talked about out-of-state people using League Pass, and they talked about how they're expanding to more Texas markets. It does seem, from my reading of this, and this is something I'll follow up on, this news is just coming out today, it does seem like there may be some markets that are not going to have this channel, but also are going to fall under blackout restrictions.
Yeah, I don't know how that works because
Right.
like I know last season with the games on WFAA, and that was something that was it came together very quickly. I believe pretty much
chagrin of the
everybody in the
Bachelor fans.
state could, yeah. That was a big problem.
Yeah, the Bachelorette fans were not happy about that.
Yeah, but I believe that most people in Texas could watch the games on WFAA or their local ABC affiliate, but this is going to run into like the geographic boundaries of like the Rockets and the Spurs and the Thunder and where all that stuff overlaps. So I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work out, and hey, I want to sympathize with every single person that watches the Mavs because, like, for example, on our own YouTube channel here, the number 1 country is US, number 2 country is Canada, number 3 country is Slovenia.
Yes,
right? Mavs.
right.
Number 4 country, Germany, Mavs. Philippines, number 5, Mavs. So they're Mavs fans all over the world. They're Mavs fans all over the state, all over the country. But I would say, I mean, these are the Dallas Mavericks. People in Dallas and in Fort Worth need to be able to watch the Dallas Mavericks. It is unconscionable that it was completely unavailable to so many people for so long unless you had one very specific cable package.
Yeah.
Like that is not only is that the antithesis of what is morally correct, gentlemen, that's antithetical to capitalism itself.
And so the Stars also have I believe the terminology is direct-to-consumer
Yes.
product.
Yes.
Victory Plus.
Victory Plus.
Victory
Mhm.
Plus. It does, the president was on the DLLS Star Show just
Brad
last week.
Alberts, not Joe Biden.
That's
good.
president. Yes.
Great clarification. Yes, thank
yes.
you.
Yeah, slightly younger man. In fact, it does seem possible that the Mavericks will also kind of dive into a similar situation. We don't know right now. It would be really cool if they did. If that was also something they brought, as well as this, over an OTA or over the air, over the air. Being able to watch with an antenna. Hopefully, this channel is also integrated into packages like YouTube TV. Certainly, some of the games are also just going to be on WFAA, and so that
including
also,
some national exclusives, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, because those games with ABC will definitely be shown.
I was
Those
surprised
national
by that.
televised games.
Yeah, that's a cool little function. So even if it doesn't get integrated, even if you're a YouTube TV watcher, you're still going to have something like 60 games available just through the ones that are aired on WFAA and the ones that are aired nationally.
Yeah,
correct?
and getting one of those digital antennas, like if that's what it comes down to, if that's just your only way to access it, $20 on Amazon, you plug it into your TV, it works super well.
Yeah.
It is an added step for sure. But if it's that or purchasing cable where you're paying significantly more that per month. Like, it's a big difference.
It's a good thing. It is objectively a good thing. I think that it just would be, I guess, disappointing if those 20 games don't have some on-demand functionality.
Yeah.
If fans are not
hope.
able to, return to them, watch them, have all the normal functionality that in 2024 we expect to have watching television.
And part of that, too, St. Marshall making a statement as well, detailing that they're hoping to have some type of direct-to-consumer product by the time the season starts.
Perfect.
How quickly that happens, we will see over the coming days and weeks. But St. Marshall speaking to that, the Mavericks CEO speaking to some of that today. And also, the deal brings Mavericks games to Texas stations in Waco, Tyler, Midland and Odessa, Abilene, and San Angelo as well. So some of those other markets within.
So everything west, that's good.
Exactly. We'll be able to watch these Mavericks games as well. Because I had somebody jump in on my mentions today and say, hey, will the games be available in Waco? And I was like, hey, based off of what this agreement is, you'll be able to watch those games as well in that area.
And Waco is like it's like right between. I mean,
yeah.
I guess it's probably just outside of the Houston
which city?
umbrella. Waco.
Yeah. I know in Austin, as I started when I was between 7th and 8th grade, I moved from Plano to Round Rock, a suburb just outside of Boston. And I could only watch national games and 4 games against the Spurs each year. And back in 2009, 2010, I had to resort to less than legal methods.
Well, we don't want to talk about that here, Tim.
Well, anyway, the end of Sent's statement obviously concluded with, obviously, we hope to bring this to you sooner. But Bobby Karalla unfortunately left the Mavericks, and it was his job to figure this all out. And so,
what can I say? Instead, I brought YouTube to all of DLLS.
That's right.
Yeah, but at least it is now taken care of with plenty of time before the season.
Yes, and
hopefully this good news becomes even greater news with a few of the things we talked to. What are the financial ramifications of it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There's a lot for the Mavericks to figure out.
Yes.
So. From a broadcasting perspective and direct to consumer and all that stuff, that is its own project to work on, and they already have people working on that. But just from having spent as many years working for the team as I did, I know they were making a lot of money on their last TV deal.
Sure.
Like a lot of money. Essentially, the entire business. I mean, not the entire, but a large portion of the business side's budget is coming from local TV deals, and that's the case with every team around the league. It's not just the Mavs. It just so happened that the Mavs had one of the most what's the word? Not what do you call it whenever it's like very, very lavish?
Lucrative.
Lucrative.
Yeah.
It's not ludicrous.
I got you.
It's not ludicrous.
It's definitely not ludicrous.
Yeah.
Luda.
Yeah.
Shout out to Luda, who did perform at a Mavs concert one time. But anyway, they had a very lucrative deal.
Wait, he did? When was that?
That was in 2015. Or
they should
2016 maybe. But anyway, so the challenge that the Mavs face is trying to find a way to recoup a lot of the money from that local TV deal. And that's what a lot of other teams are facing. The Pelicans are going to be in the situation, the Jazz are, the Suns are, like a lot of these other teams are facing this challenge. Now, as it is, the NBA has an extraordinarily lucrative national TV deal. And all the teams split that revenue, and that more than covers like basketball payrolls.
And that television deal, the
like
new one's going to explode too, in the coming years.
Absolutely, and that's where a lot of like the basketball, the BRI, that the players and owners split, like that accounts for a lot of it. But local TV deals, what I think that might affect on a team building side, not on the business side, but on the Nico Harrison side is, hey, maybe we're in the luxury tax and signing this guy to a veteran minimum is going to cost us $7 million this season as opposed to $2 million because we're in the tax. I don't know if we can afford that. It would be nice if we had those millions from Bally coming in or from Fox before that. So, the direct-to-consumer thing wouldn't go toward maybe help them recoup a little bit of that, but you're not going to get anywhere close. Ad sales might help too, but teams are going to have to figure out how to replace that revenue for sure.
Yeah, this is a hit in the short term for greater gains in the long run.
Yeah.
Part of what St. Marshall was also discussing in her statement as well.
Just stop spending $7 million to bring Ludacris for a concert at the Dallas Mavericks.
That's true, but it was so cool.
I mean, I don't mind Luda coming in concert.
It was
personally.
so awesome.
You guys see how
personally.
You guys see how big his hands are now?
I know you seen him throw out the first pitch the other day with the Atlanta Braves.
It's like glacier water.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I'll check it out.
It's honestly, it's crazy how viral that went. It's just like
it was great.
I saw a viral tweet about it, and I was just like, okay, I know what's happening here. Anyway.
Coming up in just a moment, how much pressure are Luka and Kyrie to deliver an NBA championship to the Mavericks? Kyrie Irving speaking on the disappointment of the Mavericks losing the NBA Finals. We'll get to that here in just a moment. Plus, a little bit later on in the show, your hot takes on the Mavericks' upcoming season. But before we get there, need to talk to you about Z-Biotics. I have to tell you about this game-changing product I used before a night out with drinks. It's called Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol. Pre-Alcohol is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this product down. Just remember to make Z-Biotics your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. Every time I have pre-alcohol before drinks, I notice a difference the next day. Even after a night, I can confidently plan on doing my activities the very next day. Vacations, weddings, birthdays, and reunions. There's so much going on. Get the most out of your summer plans by stocking up on pre-alcohol now. Go to zbiotics.com/DLLS Mavs to get 15% off your first order when you use code DLLS Mavs at checkout. Pre-alcohol is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, but you won't, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/DLLS Mavs and use the code DLLS Mavs at checkout for 15% off. Thank you to Z-Biotics for sponsoring this episode and our good times.
As the Mavs prepare to protect their home court hardwood, and route to hopefully another finals, you can get Empire Today to install some hardwood in your own home, or as we did at the DLLS studio, where with Empire Today, you and we can get shop-at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee.
Wait, do you think that you could put like the names of all your friends on the hardwood?
I bet you could.
But then you size them by how important of a friend they are.
I bet you could.
You know, just like the Mavs court.
I bet you could, because Empire's philosophy is to help
Tim.
you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. What they leave out of their selection is just as important as what they put in. Their product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples each year to find the perfect styles and maybe even the perfect name. So you can schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive $350 off when they use promo code DLLS. Restrictions may apply. See empiretoday.com/DLLS for details. Again, promo code DLLS. Save yourself some money.
Appreciate you, Bobby. How much pressure are the Mavericks under to win an NBA championship, and how confident are you that they can win a title in the next 5 years? Kyrie Irving on his Twitch channel just the other day spoke to the disappointment of the Mavericks losing in the NBA Finals and him taking some accountability for the loss on himself. Take a look and a listen to Kyrie Irving, what he had to say about the Mavericks Finals loss.
He was one of the most special teams I've been on, by the way. Hands down. One of the most special teams. We had great chemistry ending the year, which I'm so grateful for. You know, we really figured out each other's games, and it's honestly how we got to the finals. It's a fun group. You know, so shout out to all my teammates this year. This past year, we had such a special run, and I'm excited to get going again and, you know, just get back to work. Last year was definitely a disappointing year from the standpoint of not winning the finals as a team and, you know, just coming up short, but we got there for a reason. You know, blood is definitely in the water, and, you know, I'm always going to take my accountability. It starts with me. Definitely starts with me. Definitely starts with me. So as we close out the, you know, this September with this 23-24 highlight film, definitely got to set that straight. You know, did not play my best at all down the stretch in the season, and yeah, it's been eating me alive in a healthy way. You know, just staying motivated. Yeah, we're gonna be back. Yeah, we're gonna be back. Yeah, just gonna have fun. Take it day by day. Losing fucking sucks though. You know what I mean? But you gotta enjoy, like, even just the full circle moment of playing the Celtics. You know what I mean? That was a full circle moment. You know, but we went against the best of the best. That's what you want. Go against the best of the best. Learn. You know, learn through those losing efforts.
So Kyrie Irving saying it all starts with me taking accountability for the loss that the Mavericks had in the NBA Finals. Gentlemen, as you listen to Kyrie Irving speak about the loss himself, him taking responsibility for his play in the NBA Finals, What is your reaction, Tim, to hearing Kyrie Irving detail his responsibility about what happened in the loss in the finals to the Celtics?
I mean, it's par for the course for Kyrie. This is something he was talking about throughout the entire finals and in the lead up. And, I was out in Boston. He was very open and honest and very reflective, to the extent that, even as the series dragged on, he talked about how he was expecting more and better from himself and simply couldn't deliver. It doesn't surprise me that he remains being equally open and transparent about his struggles, about how he could have been better. It's just that he needed to be better. And if the situation comes up again for Kyrie Irving, he has to be better. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, talking about how losing is eating him up, but in a healthy way. That
eating him alive, and yet in a healthy way. Yeah.
So it's like the symbiotic sort of parasitic relationship,
kind of Venom type thing going on. There.
I'm no bio major.
Of life.
Yeah, but I hope that is a healthy thing. But it kind of highlights the difference, like we had talked about earlier in the week, between last season and this season. Whereas last season, the Mavs were trying to basically battle back from just like complete and utter humiliation.
Yeah.
Just bombing out at the end of the season, missing the play-in altogether. Last season, they just kind of woke up one day and were in the finals. And then they lost. They got handled pretty good by Boston. And so now they're battling back from not humiliation, but being so close to the final goal. Like you can see the mountaintop.
It's right there.
Right? You're right there. They were so close to making this a 1-1 series or a 2-1 series. Instead, they fell behind 3-0. Like, they were so close, and yet so far. Yeah. And now they're trying to build back all of the momentum and strength and endurance and emotional maturity needed to get there.
This isn't a one-to-one comparison, but I know in the NFL, teams that reach the Super Bowl talk about how even week 8, week 10 of the following season, they're just so broken up and frustrated.
It's the hangover thing.
Yeah, it's the almost championship hangover, which is equally, it has an effect just like a championship hangover has. It maybe has even more of an effect. That said,
it may add even additional pressure to try to get back to that potential round as well.
I do think that this specific finals run is one of the very few that you can look at and say, of course you're going to have frustration, and of course you're going to have regret. But it shouldn't be, out of all the finals runs you can imagine, this one shouldn't hurt and sting quite like most teams that are runner-up. Just because they weren't expected to be there, just because they made such a stride from catastrophe to actually get there.
From a team standpoint, maybe not, but for Kyrie,
yes,
I think that it hurts way more than maybe it should. But also, I mean, that kind of is the other end of the argument that he was making, or kind of the presentation that he was making, which is like, I take accountability for my failures. Yeah. He did not shoot the ball well in Boston. I mean, in Dallas, he was pretty good, but in Boston, he struggled. And if he shot the way that he did throughout the entire season and the entire playoff run, they probably don't lose in 5. They might not win the series, but they certainly don't get just destroyed the way that they did. And so from the team perspective, yes, they maybe overachieved or maybe got to right where they should be or whatever. But Kyrie individually, personally, I'm glad that he's not satisfied.
And I agree, but it at least does help. It at least softens it a little bit that he is a champion, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it took him 7 years to get back to the NBA Finals. He details some of that, of course, in the lead up to the NBA Finals itself. And one of the things that, as I look back on it, Kyrie Irving talking about his struggles that he had when he was in Boston, I do wonder how much more of that psychologically and emotionally we didn't necessarily give as much credit to when he was playing in Boston. While, yes, his on-court struggles were evident during those games, I wonder, just going back to that environment where he had a lot of personal struggles and where some of the things that happened to him there, I wonder how much that did bother him and we didn't necessarily take into account. Not to make an excuse for him, but at the same time, I think that's just another layer to what he could have been dealing with while playing those games, especially in Boston.
Kevin, you're right, but I will push back. I do think we took that into account.
Yeah.
Mostly, and again, I was
not necessarily you, but I'm saying maybe some others who were watching from the outside looking in.
I will say I think we took it into account because he gave hour-long media appearances where he kept talking for 3 or 4 minutes at a time about this Boston experience. I do think that was a prevailing news theme or storyline throughout this thing. And looking back, I think we can put even more emphasis, coldly looking at how poorly he shot, and just looking at how much focus there was on this Boston return, on this very cyclical moment of his career.
And like a very venomous crowd. Just not the kind of atmosphere that's conducive to like
100%.
focus.
100%.
You know?
But I think logically the only way you can look back at how poorly he shot is to understand that clearly he was still coping, moving, processing what this stage of his career, how it went.
Yeah.
And how the fallout happened. And, I think that's good. That's what they say about
being present in that moment. Yeah.
Being able to process your past.
Yeah.
This is something that I think you take a bird's eye view at Kyrie's career, and this is probably something he hasn't done. And so I bet it was very good for him, both going forward in his career and just him as a person, that he was able to do that.
Yeah, Mavs fans can relate to that.
It did affect his play on the court.
It's like running into the Heat in 2011 after what happened in 06. It's kind of that same, it's to a different degree because the Mavs won in 2011, whereas Kyrie did not win in 2024, but who knows?
Maybe
they're going to play again in 6 months. Who knows?
Does that add extra pressure? And it's one of the things that we're talking about today. Is there additional pressure for this team to win a championship, especially when we look at the next 5 years? We talk about Kyrie Irving specifically, has a player option coming up not too long from now. Obviously, Luka Doncic is going to be eligible for his Supermax at the end of this upcoming season. There's a lot of things that could be changing for this team, whether it be from a roster standpoint or how they're going to have to manage this team financially. Is there additional pressure over the next couple of years or maybe 5 years for this team to win a championship? Kyrie Irving at 32 years of age as well.
Dude, absolutely. Can I give a very quick rundown of their salary cap?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, fast forward 2 years from now. This is how quick things can change in the NBA. 2 years from now, all right, Luka, super, ultra, mega, max, whatever, the
richest
$70 million
contract in NBA
a season.
history.
Yeah, Derek
the
Lively.
Saudi max is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Derek Lively will be extension eligible, negotiating a deal, and then after 2 seasons, will be in the first year of his, and he's going to get paid.
Yes.
PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, they'll either be extended or gone, right? Like, your window is right now.
Yeah.
Your window is today. Your window is tomorrow. Your window is not 2027. Like, Luka will keep the window open, but this version of the Mavs that just made it to the NBA Finals, their window is 2025 and 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you don't win it then, you're going to have to
What you're
rearrange
saying is
stuff.
not that the Mavericks can't be contenders in 2027. It's that if they are, it's probably with a roster that looks a lot different than the one
significantly different. Yeah.
Right. It still has Lively and Luka.
Mm-hmm.
But past that, you can't know any of the players currently on the team in 3 years from now are still going to be there. You simply can't know that.
And Stein has kind of said, and everyone can kind of feel like Kyrie's happy here. The Mavs are happy with Kyrie. Sure, they would love to get a deal done. You got to negotiate that. And if Luka's going to be getting a $30 million per year raise very soon, like, that makes it significantly tougher because you can't lock yourself in the second
That's
apron.
why you came here.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna be able to afford Bobby in the future.
I was the first cap casualty of the new.
And look how you
CBA.
landed on your feet. Look how you landed.
Yeah,
look at that. You did all right.
Yeah.
The Mavericks have got a lot to think about, as you mentioned, with the financial implications coming up in the next couple of years. But you start looking at the age of the team, still a relatively young team outside of Kyrie Irving. We mentioned at 32 years of age. Your core, Derek Lively, 20 years old. Luka, 25. Daniel Gafford, 25. PJ Washington, 25 years old. Like, you've got a little bit of runway with some of these guys that you think could be around here for the next couple of years. But for me, Kyrie Irving is the one you think, how much more do you have left of him in his quote-unquote prime to be able to maximize that window? And is that pressure going to increase because that window may be closing for him in terms of Kyrie Irving's prime in that way?
It has reflected in the fan base. When I did a fan survey, I do this annually. Previously at The Athletic, I published one.
What's that?
It's a place. It's a place that
it's a place out there.
But I hopped on Indeed and found somewhere else.
So look what you
in
did there.
2024, the 2024, so the most recent fan survey, I asked for the confidence that fans have, 1 to 5, 1 being the least, 5 being the most, in Dallas winning a championship in the next 5 years. And 37% gave a 5, 44% gave a 4, which reflects 2 things. First, that it's very hard to win a championship. But second, that a lot of people now have like legitimate belief that this can happen. If you go back a year, the same question, only 15% of people answered a 5, only 31% answered at 4, and 31.5% of people were answering a 3. So there's a lot less confidence. If you go back to 2022 or 2021, I think I skipped a year with this question in the survey. Only 14% of people were like totally, fully
have some
confident.
convictions, people. What are we doing?
And something like
Stop being so fickle.
You know, there was literally 50% of people answered 2 and 3. So
Wow.
less confidence or
Yeah.
medium confidence in this happening. So the
I mean,
confidence
it's
is
gotta be
there.
high.
Yeah.
The reasons to be confident are there. It's reflected in the fan base. But Dallas has to do it, and now's the time.
They got to prove it. Yeah.
The
And
next 2 years.
as we just found out, a whole lot of that is on Luka and Kyrie, and that's stating the
Yeah,
obvious.
for
But
sure.
but not only do we feel it, but they feel it too, and so they have to deliver.
Coming up here in just a moment, what is your hottest take for the Mavericks this upcoming season? The three of us will give us our hottest takes on the Mavericks for this upcoming year. But before we get there, Tim, talk to me a little bit about Shady Rays.
I love Shady Rays because they are the best. Everybody needs sunglasses, and everybody needs to get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays, they have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Let me get just a tiny bit personal with you. I had an eye doctor appointment last week. Still kind of blind, still wear contacts, but I once again got told by my eye doctor that I have very beautiful eyes. And the reason he says this, it's like a Scandinavian trait. I have no pigment in my eyes, so you can see all the blood vessels, see all that.
I'm getting real great.
One of the things that I
Real
most
granular
often
here.
hear from various women throughout my life is how blue
What is
my eyes
happening
are.
right now? What is happening?
Get to the point, man. Get to the call to action. Good God.
But the point is,
You need the rays to cover up your eyes? Is that what you're saying? Is that
Jesus, dude.
It means that when I go outside, I need shades.
Okay.
My eyes are a little bit sensitive, and here's the thing about Shady Rays: they take care of me if I ever lose a pair. They have a return or exchange for a new pair within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deals of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code DLLS for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself with the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
And
Thanks,
after you get your Shady Rays, we want you to become a diehard member here at DLLS Sports. The best way you can do that today, like, comment, and subscribe to the video that you're watching. Subscribe to DLLS Sports on YouTube, and also become a diehard member as well. When you do, you get a free diehard card, a physical one as well. We've got post-game shows, premium written content for all of our members at alldlls.com/diehard. 20% off events. We've got incredible merch, 20% off all events as well, and you get a free t-shirt when you become a member of DLLS Sports. Again, go to alldlls.com/diehard, become a diehard member today. Get that free t-shirt. You see the selection that we have, a lot of incredible content that we have up on our website, and also a lot of great merchandise as well. alldlls.com/diehard to become a diehard member today. We want you now in the chat. I need you to let me know what your hottest Mavericks take is for this upcoming year, a season that is much anticipated for this team, a season that you're going to be able to watch for free thanks to the new television deal with WFAA as well. But we want you to let us know what your hottest take for the Mavericks is this upcoming season, whether it be for the player, for a team. Drop those in the chat right now as we go around our nice lounge here. And I start with one Bobby Carella. Drop me your hottest take, Bobby, for the Mavericks or a player on the Mavericks this upcoming season.
I'm glad you're starting with me because I'm not sure how hot my take is. I think my take might just be like room temp.
Lukewarm, maybe?
Luka warm.
Oh,
How about that? How
see,
about that?
See there?
Because my hot take this season, Luka Doncic will not only repeat as the league's leading scorer, per game scorer.
Okay.
I think he's also going to lead the league in assists per game, too. I think he's going to be the first player since Tiny Nate Archibald 50 years ago to lead the league in both points and assists per game.
I think if you're saying he's going to do something that hasn't been done in 50 years, that's pretty hot.
Okay.
That's pretty hot.
Take that.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take
hot-ish.
Yeah. But I think like Kevin and I, you and I were
now.
talking before the show, and Luka won the scoring title last year. Now Embiid, I think, ended up averaging more, but obviously didn't meet the threshold. Luka finished second or third in assists per game, so it's not like he's got to do that much more, but it's really tough to do both.
Yeah.
It is tough to do both.
Do you see, let's say he leads the league in assists, do you see a scenario where his scoring drops off a little bit?
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Because he was what at 34.3 last
34,
season.
yeah, last year.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be at 34, but I mean, if he shoots it well, then he might.
I mean, last year,
and
shot
also dude, how many times this year if he puts the ball on the floor,
33.9 last
gets
season.
past his guy on the perimeter, gets in the lane, there's gonna be maybe one help defender. There's no more sagging off to Jones. There's no more cheating off guys.
And we know how good and efficient he is at the rim.
There should be a lot more space.
Here's the thing: he has a gap. He averaged 33.9 last season. The next was Giannis at 30.4. So he could literally hit one less shot a game, one less three a game, which I don't think is very likely. But he could hit 1.5 fewer two-pointers.
I think guys
and you
will
could still
pick it
top
up,
Giannis.
Yeah.
The question is whether Embiid is going to have a very similar season and qualify for the scoring title crown.
for
whatever
sure.
Do they qualify that the same way? That's done different.
It's 58 games. I think,
that's done differently than the new rules, but still.
Yeah.
Javier
It's
Flores.
actually a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
So as long as he stays healthy, even if Embiid's on a pretty tight, minutes regiment, still a decent chance he's first.
Javier Flores in the chat says his hot take is Derek Lively finishes top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year, which segue to mine. My hottest take, I got two, but my hottest take is that Derek Lively will be an all-star this upcoming season. Derek Lively in his second year will be an all-star.
That's at least 1 or 2 peppers hotter than my take.
Yeah, just a little bit. He'll be an all-star this year. And my second one is that Luka Doncic will average officially a triple-double this upcoming year.
I like that one.
He'll go full Russell Westbrook MVP season from a couple, 2016, 2017, and he'll average a full triple-double.
He was close last year. Was he 9.2, 9.8 or something?
34, 9, and 8. Somewhere,
8,
yeah,
okay,
close there. But yeah, those are my two hottest takes. Derek Lively will be an all-star this year, and Luka Doncic will officially average a triple-double.
He was 9.2 total rebounds per game. I like it. I do worry about the rebounds, just realistically thinking about it. Now, I will say, I think something that helps him out is if Clay is in the starting lineup over Derek Jones, and Derek Jones sometimes will just, he just pluck it out of the sky.
Yeah.
Not a huge rebound
Josh
number
Green
guy.
also really weird rebounder.
Yeah,
and he's
weird
not around
rebounder.
here.
But I think some of those will just kind of be converted into Luka rebounds. That said, 9.2, getting that all the way up to 10 when we think his minutes are going to fall a little bit. That would be my only concern. I still like
Play
it, though.
better defense, and
Yeah.
you'll get more rebound chances.
That's a
too.
good point.
They
That's
were
good.
not very good there for a lot of last season.
And
Right.
DL, that's why they call it a hot take, because they said, okay, Kev, that one's a little out there talking about my Derek Lively going to be an all-star one. That's why they call it a hot take. It's
That
not
is
a bold
that's
prediction
scorching.
for nothing. It's hot.
That's
okay?
scorching.
It's scorching. That's
a Texas summer take.
I mean, look, it's the natural progression, right? He was a rising star last year. So after you rise, what do you do? Become an all-star. So I'm thinking the second-year jump for Lively. Y'all know how excited I am to watch Lively.
I think he's going to be a most star. He's going to mostly a star.
a most star
Your,
rising to
your
most.
third leading scorer per game will be PJ Washington. How about
Ooh.
that? Is that a pretty high?
You got a
take?
number for me on that?
I'll say
15, 16 a game?
17, 5, 18.
Ooh, that's a big number.
17.
What did he average last season?
Okay.
I don't know. Don't look. It's not important.
Is that
Well, I can give you mine.
okay?
we
let's
ready
hear
for
it.
mine?
Yeah, we're ready for yours. Yeah.
I don't know how hot mine is either, but I believe
Oh,
not
he was
only
at 11-7. Never mind. Delete that take. Delete that take.
No,
Yeah, that would be
it's
a
on
huge
record.
trouble.
It's on record. That's
Tanner,
on record.
get rid of that take. That
Nope.
was a bad take.
Nope, it's on record.
Oh my
Yep,
goodness. Bobby is he doesn't like this whole live thing.
Not a good
Yeah.
take.
Wait.
Not a great take.
What's my man saying? Is that Death? What's the name? The Death Match? Something like that?
Oh, Death Matching's my guy.
Let's say Luka and Kyrie. Throw that one up there for me, Tanner, real quick. Luka and Kyrie are gonna have, what is it?
50,
A
40, 90.
Oh,
Each?
wow.
That's hot. Now that's hot. Yeah, because
I worry about Luka's free throws. If Luka shot 84%, I would call it like
that's
a
incredible. Yeah.
remarkable improvement for
50,
him.
I'll take 50, 40, 80.
I mean, Kyrie last year went 50, 40, 90, pretty much.
Yeah.
If Luka went 50, 40, 90, that's a league MVP for Luka.
Yeah, he's
Doncic.
averaging 40 a game if he goes 50, 40, 90.
Exactly. That's why
Yeah.
I was like, I thought I saw that. So let me make sure we mention that, because that's a hot take right there. What
All
you
right,
got,
Tim?
Tim?
Spit some flames.
I believe that not only will Dallas set the all-time record for offensive rating, they'll have the most efficient offense of all time.
Okay.
That's not that hot of a take because usually the number one offense in the league every season breaks that record. It keeps going up. But in addition to that, I believe the Mavericks will hit more threes this coming season than any other team in NBA history.
Whoa.
What do we think of
That
that?
is hot. Okay.
Do we know who the all-time leader is? Would anybody like to take a guess?
A team that has Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson on it.
You are correct. The 22-23 Warriors. So
it just happened a couple years ago.
And that's the thing. So the way that offense and three-point shooting continues to rise, these records, especially the three-point records, get broken almost every year. Dallas, I believe, for 11 straight years, set a new record for made threes in a franchise, in their franchise. Like 11 straight years, from the championship season to, I believe, the lockout, or the COVID shortened season, when it was just like a number of games. Like, they broke it every single year. They made more. But Dallas last season, or I'm sorry, not last season, but 2 seasons ago, the 22-23 Mavericks season, the awful one, they had the 6th most made threes in NBA history.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. They
That was
made.
a pretty
Wow.
disgusting basketball.
I'm pretty sure about this, unless I'm sorting it wrong No. This looks right to me. So,
Well, what's interesting about that, too, is for this team,
1,246.
this year, 2 of the top 5 guys in the NBA last year who made the most threes, guess what? They play for your Dallas Mavericks.
Luka and Klay.
Luka and Klay finished in
Yeah.
the top 5 in most made three-pointers last year. And you got both those guys, obviously, on your team now. So that record, it may not be as hot of a take as you may think, because they got 2 guys that made a lot of threes.
Last season, they made about 1,200. They made 1,197. So they need to hit about 175 more threes than they did last season
Shout out to Klay
That's a
to
lot.
Thompson.
pass the Warriors.
That is a lot,
But
but it's possible.
I think that's
a lot,
very
but
possible.
It is
Yeah.
possible.
I think that's very possible.
To your point about the record-breaking offenses every year, so 2019-20, the Mavs set the record for most efficient offense of all time. It was 115.9. That was 4 years ago. Last season, the 2019-20 Mavs would have ranked 15th in the NBA
Jeez, middle of the pack
in
for
offensive rating.
I think-
They would have been
think-
right around the league average.
Wow.
Clay can easily hit 100 more threes than Tim Hardaway did last season. That's not that hot.
One would hope.
He's going to get a lot of wide open
would
looks.
expect
More
Quentin
minutes, do you
Grimes, if he is everything that the team expects him to be, is probably going to hit at least 50 more threes than Josh Green over an 82-game sample.
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but
Yeah. And then you obviously have to factor in the 53s that Derek Lively is going to hit.
Okay.
Whoa.
right.
That's a hot
that's-
take
we're
there.
really
That's-
getting warmed
now
up
that's
now.
a hot one.
That one's a little bit more of a joke,
Jeez.
but I do think that
Hope you had some Z-Biotic earlier.
I think that Najee, well played.
I
I
like
think
what
that
you did,
Najee is in a good position to add more total threes than Derek Jones did last
DL
season.
says Najee Marshall averages north of 13 points per game. That is a hot take.
That is a hot take.
I like
that is
that
a
take.
insanely
And
hot
contender
take.
for sixth man of the
It is-
year?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's. I'm not. It's definitely a hot take, but like, it's not out of the realm. If he's just awesome on defense and the rest of the team really struggles, all it takes is one guy getting hurt, and he's playing 35 a night.
Speaking of bench players,
13's
now
a lot, though.
that
It
we
is.
talking about some of the guys off the bench, I'm gonna throw this one out there too, because why not? Daniel Gafford will break the all-time consecutive made field goal record.
All right, that's scorching
this year.
too.
He'll do that
God,
this
y'all
year.
are really just annihilating my take.
I mean, these are hot takes. We're gonna throw them out there. By the way,
Mine is like a green bell pepper, and y'all are like Carolina Reapers. and-
That's it's hot. Throw the one from David there. From the one for Luka, I think. Luka will receive all defensive votes. That's kind of hot too. Shout out to David. That's a hot take. Luka receives some all defensive votes this year.
I'm literally trying to invent a
Don't laugh
scenario
at
in
the
my
take.
head.
It's a
I'm
hot
not
take,
laughing at
Tim.
it. No. I'm trying to even invent a scenario where this is possible.
I mean,
Oh, wow.
Well, no.
Wow.
It's very possible if he averages like a steal and a half a game, or
Which he
two
did last year.
steals a game.
You're
Oh,
right.
it's possible.
Just getting a vote. You're right.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
he does a lot of splash numbers. Dallas has a really good defense, and
There aren't as many
There's a lot
bits
more-
in voting anymore, though. Like,
I mean,
kind of the mob is sort of like forcing groupthink into
there's
existence.
still about 9 international voters every year, and 2 or 3 of them are prone to like a Sabonis first team All NBA.
Yeah,
So
it's possible.
or
That
second
was-
team, maybe he was second team.
All
but
eyes on Europe
yeah.
for this one.
yeah. So
If any of y'all
more-
want to come on the show, you're more than welcome.
Any more takes before we end this one here? You got any more? You want to try to amend your take, hot take that you had from earlier?
Give me a second.
Because we threw out some pretty spicy ones. Okay.
Clay will have more dunks this season than Luka. Is that a hot take? Kyrie will have more than both of them combined.
I like that take, actually.
That's a pretty good take.
Yeah, I like that one.
How many did Clay have last year?
I don't know, but Luka only had 2, I think.
We'll find out coming out of the break.
Yeah.
We'll have to find that out.
Well, you better do your...
Keep throwing those hot
Yeah,
takes in the chat. Let us know what your hottest takes are for the Mavericks this upcoming season. Coming up in just a moment, we want to hear from you on some of the more takes that you have and also some other things that you may be thinking about when it comes to the Mavericks this upcoming season. But before we get there, Bobby, talk to me about becoming a diehard member at DLLS Sports.
Yeah, shout out to some of our newest diehards. Shout out Dennis, shout out Jeffrey, shout out John, shout out Christy, shout out Tim, not Cato. I would never shout out Tim Cato.
Too late, you already did.
Tim Griffey, maybe Ken's cousin or something.
Those are all
names.
lovely people. Why do you think they're signing up?
Well, they're signing up to probably read my article about Klay Thompson that I published on the website yesterday.
Hot off the press.
Yeah, I wrote about how Klay might not just come off of screens in Dallas. Klay might set them himself. And I dove into some tape, a bunch of stats, even some graphs in there.
Film guru.
Bobby,
Yeah.
can I shout out one thing that made me laugh out loud from your article?
What's up?
So Bobby is just very smart at this stuff. He is someone that during the season, sometimes I call him just to like kind of talk through some things I'm seeing on the Mavericks. He always sets me right, but he has this knack for finding video clips that show something. And in this case, he's trying to show how Klay Thompson is going to get a lot of the shots that last season were Tim Hardaway's. And so he found a very good example of like a play that Klay could easily, slot into. It's Tim Hardaway setting a screen, coming off of it, spotting up, taking a 3. It is the worst miss I have ever seen.
I didn't mean I thought he was going with that.
It is no, because it works. It works so well. You're basically like,
Clay's going to knock that one down.
And we know about Tim Hardaway. Like, he had some bad misses. He was a good player for a lot of his tenure. But it was just so funny watching this play. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see Klay doing that. I can see Klay doing that. And then it's like, how is this an improvement? And then I believe Tim Hardaway shoots it over the basket, over the rim, and it hits the back of the backboard. And so I don't know if Bobby is in here making, he's not Jason Concepcion. He's not writing like, the funniest joke you've ever heard.
I'm not.
He has a very good sense of subtle humor that you guys will enjoy it. Subscribe, be a diehard, enjoy Bobby's writing all season.
Well, thank you, Tim. I really appreciate that.
That's
also,
sweet,
the
Tim.
DLLS Discord is always popping off.
I literally laughed out loud.
To get you did. But to get all the stuff that we're writing, to get all the stuff that all the other brilliant writers and all the other beats that we're covering are putting out every single dang day, become a diehard. All DLLS.com/diehard. Get yourself a free shirt while you're at it.
Me and Bobby are going to be doing observations for every game.
Every single game. In addition to columns and some analysis,
in addition to a
film
lot more
breakdowns,
features, all this stuff. But if you want like one thing that's going to be on the website every single time that you can be coming back for, and it's going to be good enough, you're going to be coming back for it. It's going to be our observations after every game.
Heck yeah.
A lot of amazing content on alldlls.com. Again, become a diehard member. Shout out to Dweeler at that's right. DLLS Discord has been awesome, by the way. Learn how to make smoked candied bacon.
It's true. I've been following that discussion myself.
New Linkin Park talk and awesome music recommendations.
They're still making music?
New lead singer. They just dropped a new track. Yeah,
it's the female lead
Is it
singer,
really?
I believe is what I saw.
That's cool. Yeah, I need to check it out.
Yeah. So shout out to Dweeler there.
I need to check out the music channel. I'm out of date.
Check out the MJ Linderman album, D. Wheeler.
LLS Discord. Before we get out of here today, Tim's got some of his own hot takes he's going to drop on us as well. And we want you to also continue to drop your own hot takes on what you feel like the Mavericks are going to be doing this upcoming season. I saw one from Javier as well. Jason Kidd will win Coach of the Year.
That's a pretty hot take.
It's a hot take from Javier.
That is a good
well.
hot take. That's a good hot take.
I like that one. Of course, Jason Kidd leading the Mavericks in the NBA Finals this past season. Maybe he has a chance to win Coach of the Year. But our own Tim Cato's got some hot takes of his own that he wanted to share with us today. We're going to react to some of those to see how hot they actually are going into this upcoming season.
Okay.
I've always got hot takes. I just want to make it clear.
Tim's a hot
This
take
is a hot
artist.
take zone. I'm about to enter into like a fugue state. And when this segment is over, I am not held reliable.
Yeah.
I'm not held
Yeah.
liable for anything that's about to come out of my mouth.
Just don't burn the DLLS headquarters
I've
down.
got
Just
a
don't with your hot
scale
takes.
pulled up on my laptop. I'm going to rate your takes.
Okay.
I'm going to rate
Very
your
Memphis
nice.
takes.
Grizzlies
I'm looking
finish
forward to
outside
this.
the top 8.
Oh, that's bell pepper take. I was talking to Kevin about that, dude. That's so based.
Wait, run that again.
Memphis Grizzlies do not finish within the top 8 of the Western
I
Conference.
agree with that take.
NBA
That's
standings.
a hot take.
That's a good
because
take.
I think they're one of the teams that actually fits into the top 6.
I'll
this
say
year.
maybe that's a pimento level take for me.
I just don't see it coming together like it had in the past.
Underestimate John Morant at your own peril.
Availability is the most important ability, and that is a team that, for better or worse, has struggled with a lot of that in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
over
you
the
could look at
couple
last
years.
season and say, "Wow, season from hell, just got totally unlucky."
Which I would agree with.
It's true, but it's kind of who they are. It's kind of the player, to some extent, it's the players they have. I think I'm a little bit worried about Jaren Jackson. He took a step back last season, defensively,
different
specifically.
role, and
Now,
you know,
you can say that he was, asked to really up his usage as an offensive player, all this stuff. Something about this team is just not clicking for me. And if you're really going to start Zach Edey, I don't know. Steven Adams was a very important part of that team.
And they're already dealing with injury going into this offseason with Gigi Jackson got a foot injury he's dealing with.
Cleveland Cavaliers finish atop the Eastern Conference.
number 1.
Whoa.
I'm in a fugue state. I don't know what I'm saying.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, you're doing a lot there,
That's
Tim.
that's a habanero level take.
Yeah.
That's a pretty hot take. Actually, you know what? That's a ghost pepper take, Tim.
Yeah, that's real hot.
New York
That's
Knicks
scorching.
Win fewer games than they did last season. They won 50 games last year.
And they'll win fewer?
Maybe like 49.
Okay, that's also that's a habanero level take.
That's super high because
I think they're a
Boston
good
is still the
team.
class of the East.
I'm not sure that Bridges made him a contender. Is
I
that
mean,
crazy?
nothing else is gonna be defensively.
That's
fun
like
to
a
watch.
Poblano take.
Yeah,
That's Poblano? No, you're saying it's not spicy. Oh, the contender part.
Okay, well,
I don't think
can I
Poblano's
say
very
that them losing Hartenstein is gonna hurt way more?
Huge.
I agree.
Yes, I agree with
That's
that.
also
Big-
that's
That's not
the
a
real
hot
part of
take
mine.
though. That's a bell pepper take. But like, God, he's really good. And
Yeah.
he was super important for them.
Hartenstein was something like a top 7 center in the NBA last season.
Now, all of his on-off stuff is like disgusting too.
Yeah,
Now
he's
got
like
the
an
$90 million
EPM god.
Yeah.
EPM
For his
is
reward.
it's a catch-all stat. It's estimated plus minus. You can find it on dunks and
Yeah,
threes
he's
as
like
well
a
as a few other
legendary
places.
level.
He was something like
but you
like
could
third
see it too. You could
in
really
defense.
see it.
Yeah.
in that metrics. And around the NBA, analytics people will say if you use one of those catch-all stats, this is probably the best.
That's a scorching when Cleveland finished at the top of the East.
That is really hot, and
Yikes.
you just kind of breeze past it.
yeah.
You don't
We're
have
not
to
let
defend
slide
it if
on
you
that
don't want.
one. Yeah.
I don't want to disrupt your flow.
I'm just tossing takes out there.
So I
Yeah.
got Boston, New York top 2 this upcoming season.
Well, maybe it's the Indiana Pacers who finished top in these. I don't believe that
Okay.
one.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't believe that one. Let's see. The worst team in the Western Conference, Utah Jazz. That's not spicy.
Anaheim take.
Yeah, that's pretty
yeah.
boring. What if I were to tell you that the worst team in the Eastern Conference is the Atlanta Hawks?
Say that's decent. That's
I
like a
think
jalapeno.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, I would agree with it. I don't know what direction Atlanta's going in. Like, I don't know whether they're going left, going right. I don't know what's the plan in
for
Atlanta.
them to finish last place, Trey's got to miss either a lot of the season or not be on their team anymore.
Trey Young is a Miami Heat by 20.
That's the take.
25.
That's the
Yeah,
take.
that's
Yeah.
pretty spicy.
That is the take.
But if that one's kind of good.
That's a good take.
Yeah.
That's a strong take.
They've been looking for that
That's
type
like
of upgrade.
Tabasco level take. That's like a solid take.
Who
Yeah.
you sending into Atlanta in that deal? You sending Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler in that deal to them?
Duncan Robinson.
I would send.
Everybody sends Duncan Robinson in the trade.
I think maybe it is Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy in Atlanta for other reasons would be a lot of fun. Jimmy in Atlanta for a basketball.
Why
pick,
are they? They're
I
not
don't-
trading
I
for
don't
Jimmy
know.
Butler, dude.
No, I agree. That makes no sense for Atlanta, but for Atlanta to try to get out of that,
Because Jimmy's going
just
to be
time
what,
it's-
35 this year. Is he
I
35?
don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Miami can pull it off.
He's
with
getting
their-
up there.
What might have to happen is it's a 3-team trade where Jimmy goes somewhere else and Miami resets with its future around Trey and Bam Adebayo.
They're not doing that in season.
They're not doing that
they're
in
not
season.
doing
But
that.
that's
Yeah,
why I
not
said
in
by
season, yeah.
2025. I was just saying at some point in
Sometime
2025,
in
Trey Young
20,
is going to end up.
So before
Atlanta Hawks.
2026 is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I can
Okay.
get down. I can get down with that. That's okay. All right.
I can just like keep
Yeah.
inventing
No, please
things.
keep going. Yeah.
Cook,
I wanna,
man,
yeah.
cook.
Please keep going.
Y'all throw some out.
All right, I think Milwaukee Bucks are either they're playing their first playoff game on the road, and here's the real hot take: their first playoff game might be a winner go home playoff game.
Ooh.
Are you saying that the Bucks are going to be a play-in team?
I'm saying that the Milwaukee Bucks might be in the play-in next season. And here's why.
Ooh, that is hot. No, that's
Milwaukee
hot.
won 49 games last season. They finished third in the East. Philadelphia won 47 games last season. They finished 7th in the East. Miami, who finished 8th, had 46. Milwaukee finished 3 wins ahead of the Heat, and the Heat were banged up all year. The Sixers banged up all year, and they got better. Pacers, better. Magic, better. Cavs, probably better. Knicks, better. Celtics, at least just as good. Milwaukee did not get better. Did not get better.
Woo.
Bucks, playing team. Rate that take. Rate that take.
That's hot. I'm going to go maybe habanero.
Trinidad Scorpion.
No, not that hot.
Yeah,
No, not that hot.
nearly
That just
that
sounds, first of all, that sounds deathly, number one.
It's just a solid jalapeno.
What about, so habanero is 100 to 350,000 Scoville. What about the Fatali, which is 125 to 325,000?
I could give you a
Fatali.
Calabrian
I'm going to
chili.
go with the habanero. I'm going to stick
The
with
best
habanero.
chili produced in the Italian region.
Fatali.
Woo.
Y'all send some takes to the chat and we'll react to them. But I'll say Victor Wembanyama has a quadruple double.
No, Jimmy to the Mavs.
That's a good
Wait,
take.
what?
Yeah.
No.
Jimmy to Mavs, that's a good take.
Let me see this one from Jacob. Let me see this one. I'm talking about JJ Redick here. JJ Redick throws a chair onto the court this year.
Honestly, I keep
Ooh, that's a
forgetting-
good take.
Keep forgetting he's the
I got a
coach there.
futuristic hot take when it comes to JJ Redick. He'll be fired within 3 years of that job.
Whoa, oh, within 3 years? Okay, that's not as hot. What about
You want me to go 2
before end of second season? What do you think?
before end of second season? No, they'll give him 2 seasons.
Okay.
He's fired within.
And when they fire him, they instate Jason Gallagher as the new head coach.
All right. LeBron player coach?
No, wait. I'm gonna say, within.
How about this, Kevin?
Because I think he'll get fired by the time LeBron's
Who
retired.
lasts longer at the Lakers? JJ Redick or LeBron James?
LeBron James.
Okay, that's a pretty hot take. That's
Here's
pretty
a
hot take.
LeBron James.
that's a good framing of the question.
Yeah.
Here's a spicy one. What if the Denver Nuggets are a play-in team?
Ooh.
And so the only way that could happen,
Not sizzling. That's
Jamal
a base
Murray.
take.
Ooh.
This is Jamal Murray now. Then there are issues in Denver.
How are we feeling about Jamal Murray this year? Are we feeling a little less, confident?
Sell.
Oh, you selling on Jamal Murray's stock right now?
Sell.
I don't know how you can look
hold
that
Michael Porter.
bad.
In fact, buy Michael Porter. Buy Michael Porter. Don't just hold.
I don't know if I want to buy that back of Michael
It's-
Porter.
Buy
it's-
more.
It's like, it's okay. Like, it's one thing to be bad. It's one thing to play bad like Jamal did for a lot of the postseason. To be that bad for Canada,
Yeah,
It was rough.
it was bad.
I don't know how.
That was rough.
I don't know how a player who is still of the caliber that we expect of him can fall that far in a serious competition that he cared about, that he wanted to perform in. It wasn't
And
his team, but like,
They don't have many other backcourt options out there.
he is not that much of a Jokic merchant to do that.
Ooh.
That team defense is going to struggle. That team offense is going to struggle. I really don't think. I think Denver could easily fall out of the top 6.
They got a lot of young guys they got to depend on, like Christian Brown. They got some young guys they got to really
Julian
depend on.
Strawther, maybe.
Yeah. But they got, and Jokic is going to do a lot of heavy lifting. I mean, he already does, but he's got to do even more heavy lifting this upcoming year.
Luka Doncic wins Clutch Player of the Year.
Is that yours or from the chat?
I'm just saying it out loud.
Oh,
Not
okay.
really that hot.
I mean, that's
all he
cool.
needs is
cool.
all he needs is like 3 game winners.
I would say
which
it's
is-
harder to say that Luka would win
award
over
even
Kyrie.
defined, by the way?
It's not.
It's not.
Okay, because didn't
Yeah, they
De'Aaron
just-
Fox win it one year, and I'm just like, how did he?
Well,
win
it's only
it?
been in existence for 2 years.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It was him last year, and then or 2 years ago, the inaugural.
Didn't Steph
Clutch Player
Curry
of the
win
year.
it? Yeah,
I think
Did he
Steph
really?
won it last
Yeah.
year, and
Why?
he shouldn't have. I was a voter for it. The way I calculated it is I went into clutch rating and I looked at raw number of points, and Steph was way up there.
Mhm.
But then I compared that and contrasted that with efficiency, and DeMar DeRozan was just, hitting more than 50% of his shots. I also compared a team's clutch rating to their regular season rating. The Chicago Bulls played about half of their games in the clutch, and they won at a 600 or like a .600 or a 60% winning
Playoff
pace.
caliber rate.
And the rest of the season, they were just atrocious.
Bad.
Steph had really good raw numbers in the clutch. He did not elevate the Warriors to win more clutch games. DeMar DeRozan did. DeMar DeRozan should have been the winner last season. I believe my ranking was DeMar DeRozan, Kyrie Irving, and I forget who was third. Doesn't matter.
Tim, we're running out of time. I need you to give me a pepper spray level take. What's your just hottest? Like, give me as much capsaicin. Is that how you pronounce that word? Give me as much capsaicin as you possibly can. Give me
Ooh.
pepper spray. Hit me with the mace, brother.
Trey Murphy III is the Pelicans' leading scorer next season.
Whoa!
Yeah,
let's
that's
go!
outrageous.
Let's
That is
go!
completely outrageous.
That's so based.
That's let's
go!
Wow, not based.
Dude, I'm such a Trey Murphy stan.
Wow.
I
also,
want
you
that
just
to
said
be
that
right.
just especially get Bobby going.
Dude,
on that
I
one.
love Trey Murphy.
That's hilarious.
Isaiah Hartenstein averages less than 20 minutes per game.
Wait, what?
That's
and it's
not
a mistake.
That's not a pepper spray.
Yeah,
take.
that's
Well,
Clippers
I'm
are
just-
not a playoff team.
I like that take.
Clippers not a playoff.
How about
team.
this?
It's pretty basic.
Neither the Clippers nor the Lakers are playoff
Ooh.
teams.
Ooh.
That would be
Checkmate.
checkmate. That is how we will end today's show here on DLLS Mavs. Make sure again you like, comment,
Victor
and
Wembanyama's
subscribe.
MVP.
Okay.
All right, Tim, relax. Like, comment, and subscribe to DLLS Sports on YouTube. Become a diehard member at alldlls.com/diehard. We'll be back next week, every day next week, 12 p.m. So set your calendar, set your watch, 12 p.m. every single day next week for DLLS Mavs here on DLLS Sports. Again, you can find me on X at Kevin Gray Sports, at Tim_Cato, at Bobby Carella. Have a happy and safe weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday at 12 p.m. here on DLLS Mavs on DLLS Sports. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.